I have a claim to fame, and that is that I almost never pay for things full price. Almost. I love to do my shopping in thrift stores, and I've been going to the bin store since it opened in my area on Dollar Day. Only on Dollar Day. I went once on $15 Day, the first day when they put new things out, and I bought a garden hose, but that's the exception. Normally, I pick up things for $1. That's at the bin store. And on thrift store days, things are a wide range of prices, as low as 20 cents up to whatever. But if I need something like a new drawer organizer for my silverware, for instance, I measure it and I write down the measurements of the drawer so I know what the organizer size needs to be, and I take a tape measure with me to the thrift store, and I wait until I find one that will fit in my drawer and that I like. And it's usually maybe 80 cents as opposed to however much they are new. So that's just how I shop if I can. And occasionally I do buy things for retail price if I need it. Or food, you can't buy food at the thrift store. So I really like being a frugal shopper for stuff as well as groceries. But I was going to show you a few of my thrift store finds that sometimes are wants, not needs. That happens a lot, unfortunately. But when they're very cheap, it's kind of easy to do. So let's start with clothes. I just have five articles right here. 3 pair of socks. And these were all used, but they don't look like it. I've washed them since I brought them home. These are little Cocapellis, Be Yourself, and these are Cole Haan. I'd heard of the shoes, but I didn't know Cole Haan made socks. These were 30 cents each. So this was 90 cents. And they're perfectly fine socks. Yes, somebody probably wore them and washed them, but I brought them home, washed them, hung them in the sun to dry, and they'll be fine. I will wear these till they fall apart, because that's what I do with clothes. Much cheaper. If I bought any of those new, one pair probably would be $5 or more. I don't know. I don't buy things like that new, never, because I don't have to. And then I bought a pair of pajama pants at the bin store because they looked nice and big, like they might fit me. I held them up, and yes, they looked like they'd fit, for $1. They're cotton, which I really prefer. They have an elastic waist with a drawstring in case I need to, cinch it up somehow, but that's probably not necessary. $1. And then this other pair, they were 50 cents. I go to the 50-cent rack at the thrift store and I check it out first, because they put things there that have been out on the regular racks for, I don't know, a month or whatever, and they'll mark the tag and indicate that it's just 50 cents. And I've bought a lot of clothes there. I think it's great. These are very sturdy. They'll be warm. I can't wear them this time of year because it's hot here. But in the winter, they'll be nice and cozy for 50 cents. So those are just a few of the clothing items. And I buy almost all of my clothes at the thrift store or the bin store now. I've bought that pair of pajama pants, and I think I bought a blouse, and it was $3 at the bin store. But still, that's pretty cheap for a brand new blouse. So where do you like to shop? Do you go to thrift stores? Do you go to garage sales, yard sales, estate sales? I have a neighbor who likes to get in the car. She checks it out ahead of time online to see where the yard sales or garage sales are, and then she maps it out and she goes on Friday morning or whenever they are. And kind of makes a morning of it. So I know I'm not the only one. I don't prefer yard sales as much because the inventory is more hit or miss for me. They may have a lot of stuff that I would like, or they may have nothing, and I kind of don't like driving around. I used to do that a lot, but I don't want to anymore. So the thrift store works for me. Do you ever shop on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist? I don't think I've ever bought anything. I did sell some things on Craigslist, and it's handy. You know, it works well. So the next category of things I wanted to show you was just household goods. I'll just show you a few things that I found that I don't, I wouldn't pay this at an antique store. I wouldn't pay an antique store price, but I found this beautiful tin. It opens up. Let's see if I can, there we go. It's just a tin. I don't know, on the back here it says Toffee, Birmingham, England. And I love it. I love this blue color with the yellow. So this held candy. It was a candy tin. And I just have it sitting out so I can enjoy it because I love things that I love. And it can be an odd assortment. I mean, look behind me. This is a quilt, and that's a picture. Let me show you. They don't go together. Not from the same era or anything, and I don't care. I like both of them, so I just have them in my house. I am not a designer at all, but I like the things that I have, and I like this tin. And another thing is this little ceramic tea canister. The lid is missing, but it says tea right here. Tea has a lovely sunflower or just a yellow flower. And I found these two pieces of silverware. This is an old butter knife. It's, very tarnished, and I don't care. I like it. And then this little cute enamel spoon. It's darling. It's like child size. You could actually eat with it, but I don't use it because, I think it's cute. So I just keep them in here, actually with this little item. It says, Earth Laughs in Flowers. So I just have those sitting around because I think they're cute. I think they're pretty. And I wouldn't buy any of that stuff at an antique store because they would charge, 10 or 20 times as much. I can find things at thrift stores for usually under $1. And if I really like it, I'll spend a little more. But generally, it's a very good bargain. So to decorate, I don't go to somewhere like Michael's or Hobby Lobby and buy those signs that everybody has, like Live, Laugh, Love. I don't want anything like that that's mass produced. I'd rather have an older item that has character. That's just my preference. So when you go thrift shopping, wherever it happens to be, thrift store, yard sales, estate sales, whatever, are there any tips that you could share? I've figured out if I go to yard sales, I need to take cash because they usually don't take credit cards. And it's nice to have small bills. And if you're doing your yard sale, you appreciate it when customers bring small bills, like 1s and 5s, instead of a 50 or a 100. I've had people do that, like first thing in the day, and it's like, I don't have change for that. Or if you do, you don't want to give it all away. And they buy a $2 item or something. So, those are some good tips. And I've learned to look at the condition of items when I'm buying secondhand because, clothing, usually people don't sell things that are in really awful shape, but there may be a rip or a tear or a zipper that doesn't work that gets through this, through the checkpoints, and you bring it home and it's like, well, I wouldn't have bought it if I knew this was a problem. So I've learned to try to check everything out. If it's really dirty or something and not an item that's easily cleaned, I'll probably pass on it. But if it's, glass or ceramic and you're you think you can clean it up yourself, that's okay. I don't mind, if things are in not great shape, if I know that I can get it cleaned up. So the next room in my house where I purchase things at a bargain is the kitchen. And I just wanted to show you a few pot holders that I have bought at thrift stores. And these are all just, kind of cute. You've probably seen this one in some of my cooking videos on the stove, and this quilted one. And I just like using things that I like looking at, that the fabric is nice, it's pleasing, it makes me smile when I see them. It makes cooking more fun, or whatever you're doing. So that's kind of how I operate, especially as I've gotten older. I like to surround myself with stuff that I like. And the last room is the bathroom. The things I'm going to show you here are all from the bin store. So like I said, I only go to the bin store on Dollar Day most of the time. And recently I found this Zevo on-body mosquito and tick repellent. I didn't look it up to see how much this retails for, but I know it retails for more than $1. So I went ahead and bought it. And it is odorless, non-sticky, 8-hour protection. So I thought, that's good. And I figure, it never hurts to have another bottle of mosquito repellent around. I also found this, it's called Boldify. It's a leave-in serum for your hair. And I put some in my hair. I don't really know how to do my hair, but it's a cream. You just pop this and then you pour a little bit out of your fingers and put it in. It's like a styling gel. And I know from this fancy little square bottle that it was probably retails for a lot more than $1. I didn't look it up, but I will buy things like this that I'm not sure about, that I've never used before, just to try it out. And I don't use a lot of this, so this will last me a long time. And I like getting things that are better quality for a cheap price. I think it's great. And the final thing is a box of pain relief patches. And these contain camphor, menthol, and capsaicin extract. So they're kind of like, it says here, compared to Tiger Balm pain relieving patch. But when I saw them, I thought of Salon Paws, which I've used in the past. So they're kind of like that, I think. But there are 5 of them in here, and that makes them 20 cents each. And I think that's a great price, because when you need something like this and you don't have it on hand, then you've got your, sore back or whatever, and you have to get yourself to the store and buy something. And then it's a lot more, it's $8 or $10 or something. And I'd rather have this on hand for just $1 for the whole box. I think that's a great way to shop. When you see something that you probably will use, why not buy it when you see it cheap? The next thing I wanted to show you was something that I look at almost every time I go to a certain thrift store. And if I see one I like, I buy it. It's these little notebooks. This has little dogs all over it. This is one that's, it says an index book, but I used it just to take notes, and, I can write in it. It was just blank lined paper. And then this one, these two were from the thrift store, and they were probably less than $1 each. I usually only spend between 30 and 50 cents for these things. That's why I buy so many of them. And I like to have them on hand to keep near my chair, where I can just take notes and jot down ideas and, make lists, whatever. This one is a planner. It's a 2025 months notes, it says. And it's an 18-month planner. And this is where I write down all my current stuff. It's just a calendar basically. But it was $1 at the bin store. And that's that's a good price. That's what things should cost to me. You know, I could order it on Amazon and get exactly, you know, the cover I wanted, but this one's fine. I don't care that much about that sort of thing. You know, some people do, and that's okay, but I don't. I just go ahead and get whatever there is, as long as it's serviceable and utilitarian and it does the job. I like saving the money on those kind of things. So what about you? Do you like to buy secondhand or just find a bargain wherever you can? I really do. I think it's fun. It's kind of like a game. What can I find that I don't have to go pay retail price for? And if you're new here, I am Do It Myself Peg, and this is my YouTube channel about frugal living and all sorts of things. So thank you for watching. I really, truly appreciate it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of my videos. And I'll see you next time.